Good afternoon, people. Welcome back to the Top Table Talk. We're here to talk football in what's been a very, very interesting few days, and hopefully going to be a very interesting day today as well, because there are fixtures today. I think Villa are playing today. Is that right?
Yeah, playing Brighton tonight.
Massive game, absolutely massive game, and of course we go to Old Trafford. I think me and Charlie just talking. Before we went live, I think we're both got similar records there. 2013, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, terrible.
Old Trafford. Oh, come on. We definitely need to end that tonight. But look, boys, a pleasure to have you on. Wolfie will be here very shortly, along with Chris and one or two others as well. But we'll get down to it because it's been an interesting few days with regards to fixtures and results. I don't know if you want to touch on the old game at St. Jason's Park, Rich. Are you as bad as Billy about that? Because Billy's head's been on Jupiter the past few days after that, and he seems very animated with regards to that from a bit of perspective. You want to touch on that? Give your opinions first.
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously, I think the show we did before like the Christmas fixtures, I said it was basically the annual trip to St. James's Park to get thrashed, and that is exactly what it was. So I had zero expectations going into the game, and it panned out exactly as I thought. Obviously, regardless of the red card, I think Newcastle would have won. They were just excellent on the day. Thought Villa were okay up until that red card, but you can't go into a game with all the plans thrown out the window after 2 minutes. You know, Unai Emery would have said, keep it tight, quiet down the crowd, stay in your positions, keep organised, and we kind of lost it in midfield and then didn't go out and press the ball. And you give Anthony Gordon that much time and space, he's going to do that, and that's you can't start a game like that. So, yeah, all the plans went out the window there. The red card controversy aside, I actually think it was a red card, to be honest. And the game's over as a contest from there. Villa kind of competed okay, with 10 men, but we were never going to win the game, and Newcastle could step it up. I think what's more pressing for Aston Villa is the fact that we've had these 5 away defeats in a row, and we've kind of played the same way in all of them. Like we've kind of been dominated in those games away from home, and I don't understand why he didn't play Tyrone Mings as a bit of leadership, as a bit of kind of fight in the team. I don't understand why we're not competing and just making it difficult for the opposition away from home. I know I've said this a number of times on this show. Newcastle, we knew that they were going to get in our faces. We knew that they were going to physically try and rough us up. So you've got to win the battle, and they're not going to let you just play your football. And that's what's been disappointing for me. And also off the back of that, we had such a brilliant performance against Manchester City to beat them. I know it was 2-1 in the end, the score, but we absolutely battered Man City at home. So that's what makes it a little bit more disappointing. But in terms of expectation, I knew Newcastle would win. So I'm not that bothered. I'm more bothered. Can we get the win tonight? And that gives us 6 points from 3 games over Christmas. And I'll be happy with that. I think that's okay.
I don't want to. I didn't know whether to ask you or not, but the red card. Do you think it was a red card? I know there's a lot of Villa fans that are adamant it wasn't. Billy being one of them. There has been some Villa fans that have gone, you know what, it is a red card. Yeah, fair enough. It is what it is. So where do you kind of stand on that?
I think it was a red card. Straight up.
All right.
I think it was a red card. I don't think there was any malicious intent in there. I don't think he meant to stamp on him maliciously or anything like that. But I think he probably could have got out of the way. He could have maybe made it look a bit more kind of, that he was really trying to get out of the way of it. At the end of the day, Fabian Schär's old manned him. Fabian Schär's had his number. You could bet your bottom dollar that Schär would have been pulling, pushing, stamping on his toes, doing everything to rile him up. And John Duran would have probably been giving as good as he's been getting. It was just in that situation, he kind of got caught out doing it. And that's where Fabian Schär's clever, because he did something in the second half where he pulled I think it was Watkins or someone's shirt from the other side and ended up getting the free kick.
That was in the first half. That was before the red card. So I think we won a free kick. We had a free kick, and it was Matty Cash, I think it was. So
yeah,
he had Matty Cash's shirt from behind.
Yeah.
I think they're putting in other shirts, but from the angle that you could see, that was more obvious. And then
exactly.
He's gone and been pulled down, and he's won a free kick.
The point I'm making is that Villa have to be more clever and more savvy to those situations, and that's where we're not. Now, I don't actually mind John Duran leaving one in on and competing physically with Fabian Schär. I actually like that, and I wish that Onana would have done that. I wish that Kamara would have done that more against Joe Linton, because again, you can guarantee that Joe Linton would have been leaving one in on Kamara or do it. Like, that's part of the game. It's a physical battle. Like, and Newcastle will always take it to, particularly Aston Villa, physically. So I actually like it that John Duran was doing that, but he obviously took it a bit too far and he got caught. And yeah, I think it was a red card. I've had a bit of debate about Villa fans on my show, my comments, because I said I do think it was a red card. And I think in terms of the context of Aston Villa fans moaning and whinging about it not being a red card, I was like, look, put yourself in the shoes of, if it was Isak on Konsa, we would have been screaming for a red card in that situation. Not saying that the referee in the process of it all probably should have gone to VAR, probably should have taken more of a look at it or whatever, but Villa fans would have been screaming for a red card in that situation had it been on the other side. So, yeah, I just think it was one of them. It could have gone either way. And the fact that, Shearer and other players, ex-players, have said it wasn't a red card shows you that it's more of a debatable one. But, yeah, I think it was a red card, and it is what it is.
And this is the thing, is I'm really glad you said that, because I would have been absolutely shocked if you'd have turned around to me right now and said, if that had been the other way around, I wouldn't have been calling for a red card, because you absolutely would. And I think this is the thing, is that a lot of fans, particularly like some sections of the Villa fan base, have not thought about that. Is that if it was on the other end, of course you would be calling for it. And I think a lot of Villa fans would have been massively frustrated if that had happened to their player. Say that had happened to Konsa, right? And that was Alexander Isak, and Alexander Isak hadn't been given a red card, you'd been fuming off the back of that, and you'd have been demanding. So it works both ways. Of course, as Newcastle fans are going to be saying, red card, of course, he's gone through the back of him, all the rest of it. And the fact that some sections of the media are going, absolutely red card, and some sections go, don't think it is, gives you the fact that it is a toss of a coin in terms of a debate. And if it is that, how can we point the finger? Or how can we point the finger at the referee or VAR when it is a toss up and it is part of an opinion? It absolutely is. So look.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? As I say, Fabian Schär knows what he's doing. He's an experienced professional. He would have been at John Duran because he's a dangerous player. Same as Morgan Rogers was a dangerous player. They would have been right, get one in on him early, do this. But Villa should have done that to the Newcastle players. Like John McGinn should have smashed someone early doors. Kamara should have smashed Joe Linton early on, just to know that they're in a battle. We're up for the battle, and that's what disappointed me more so than John Duran doing what he did. And yeah, I mean, obviously the goalkeeper comes over, the crowd are up for it. That's obviously going to affect the referee's decision. And like I say, Newcastle know what they're doing, but I don't blame them for doing that. Like that's what you do. You have to try and get every advantage that you can.
Yeah, 100%. And look, it is what it is. We got the win. We're still fighting up against each other. We're a point away. You're home to Brighton tonight?
Home to Brighton tonight, and home to Leicester on Saturday. Forget what day it is. So look, yeah, like you say, you guys could. Every team seems to have this record against Manchester United at Old Trafford that is just terrible. Like Villa have got a similar record, and yeah, Man United could, by hook or by crook, get a result tonight. And you're thinking, well, okay, Villa win tonight. It's the same record over the Christmas period as Newcastle. So, it's kind of as you were. I'm just looking at I ain't even looking at the league table at the minute. I'm just looking at can Villa or whatever individual team manage to get a result and just keep trying to find any type of consistency, because it's just crazy, this league at the minute, as seen by Wolfie sitting at second in the table.
I know. Look at that face.
Very unfashionably late, but
look at that face. He is absolutely buzzing. Of course, we'll get down to that in just a second. But just on Villa really quickly, Rich. Brighton at home, you've got a decent record against them. So even though it's a tough game, you're confident you can win that?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you look at the last home performance, it was fantastic. You know, yes, Man City have been in a bad spell, but anyone facing Manchester City, it's a difficult game, and we tore them to shreds. Really, it should have been much more than the final scoreline. Morgan Rogers was phenomenal. John Duran was excellent. You know, John McGinn was back to his kind of best. Kamara and Onana were brilliant, and we've seemed to have, touch wood at the minute, but we seem to have cracked the home form again. Like, we've won, I think it's 3-4 in a row now at home in the Premier League. So that seems to have been put to bed. And yeah, Ollie Watkins steps in now. John Duran suspended. He's got a good record against Brighton, scored a hat-trick last season. We won 6-1. So yeah, confident going into tonight, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
you know what's crazy, Rich? When you played up.
By the way, Wolfie, your audio is done. Like, as in, I said it before.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
Fucking right. Yeah, you know what's crazy, Rich? When you played us, if you'd beaten us, you'd have been level on points with us. You're now sitting 9 behind, man.
It'd be 6 after tonight. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, who cares about Brighton, right? A pointless team.
You're lucky that Ads is in America. He lives in America because he could make this stream tonight. But
wait, Cass, was my audio like this on the other stream?
No, it was only after it finished.
Yeah.
Was he larging it on your stream, Cass? Has he been bigging himself?
No, we was actually just cussing Tottenham for quite a while.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right then. We like that.
You know what, Cass? You've just ruined Jordan's day. You've literally ruined his day because you guys destroyed him for the whole show.
But Jordan,
what was he defending, man? Seriously,
it was like when someone says, "Oh, I will answer what I thought to answer," like, you know what I mean, this is not a thing. This is not a gel show. I don't have to answer your question. I'm thinking, what? You're just gonna ruin my show then? Like,
what are you here for, man?
Yeah, but it's different when it's a late stream where he can get to bed and get over it. He's got the rest of his day ahead of him.
Oh, he's got about another 4 streams to do.
Oh,
he's got questions to answer, man.
But look, we'll come back to Forest and Man United in just a second because there's lots to discuss there.
No, we don't have to talk about Man United.
Oh, it's Man Newcastle. We do. We must.
We must. But Charlie lost a bit of ground on Liverpool in that title race that you don't want to admit that you're in.
There is no title race. I told you there's no title race.
Oh, you pussy!
He was waiting for these results, wasn't he? Charlie was waiting for these results.
I told you, man. I know when we've been in title races, we won the league. I know when we're in a title race, and consistently said it. We weren't in a title race, and these last 2 results show exactly why we aren't, because this team's not ready. It has been a disappointing last couple of games. I mean, Everton, we never do well there. I think we've won once in the last 6 or 7 visits to Goodison Park. So thank God that stadium's going and we never have to go there again. And then the Fulham game was disappointing. You know, it was probably, I think it was our worst performance of the season. And particularly to lose in that manner as well is not great. I think we showed a lack of experience in that game. In terms of seeing it out, you know, even at 1-1, right? Okay, it's not a great result, but we're still throwing so many men forward as if like we had to win that game and like, you know, finishing in the top 4 depended on it or whatever. You know, I think we probably maybe should have just accepted, you know, we're going to get the point, probably a fair result, and let's move on to Ipswich tonight. But yeah, look, we've still only lost 3 games all season, so I'm not overly concerned. Yeah, it was disappointing to lose in that manner. You never want to lose at home. But we've lost 3 games all season. We're still in a very, very good position. Win tonight and we're back in second again. So you know, I don't look at it and think, you know, it's a disaster for us. We're still in a very, very good position, and we're still on track to achieve what we need to achieve this season. So, yeah, disappointing result to throw it away like that. But in terms of, you know, us and our goals for this season, it doesn't change anything. We're still in a very, very good position.
How'd you not beat Everton, man? I mean, seriously.
No, mate, we never, mate, they're shit, but we never beat them there. We never win at Goodison Park. It's just one of them things.
You can say that after last night,
behind that? How can you hide behind that and use that as an excuse, right? When was the last time Fulham won at Stamford Bridge?
45 years ago.
Yeah, 1979.
So with one hand, you're saying we never beat Everton.
We don't know.
And in the other hand, literally the same argument can be chucked to you about Fulham. So stop hiding behind this ground thing, man. Which one is it?
No, mate, we don't have a good record at Everton. You know, yeah, Fulham. All right, fair play.
Does Fulham have a good record at Stamford Bridge?
No, but you know.
Okay, so why are you hiding behind that?
No, they deserve to win that game, but. Look, we're still in a very good position. I'm not worried about anything that we're doing. Look, defensively, there's been a few issues, you know, across the course of the season, but we're in a good position. We should beat Ipswich tonight, and that puts us back second, as I said. And you know, it's not a bad season. I don't think we'll do much in January, but yeah, I'm very happy with where we are right now. But yeah, obviously, it is disappointing maybe to only get 1 win from 3 over the Christmas period. But luckily, the good start, we've built a bit of a buffer, you know, within the top 4. So these results where we've dropped points, which are going to be inevitable at some point in this season, haven't really been too costly in that race for the Champions League.
Are you boys playing tonight?
Yeah, away at Ipswich.
Oh, it's away.
Let's not.
Yeah, it's away. Yeah,
it should be a win.
No, they haven't won at home all season, so it should be all
we
right.
hit time to start. We beat them for 4 last time, so come on.
Yeah, you beat them 4-0, so yeah, we should easily win.
there's the chest. There's the chest.
Rich, your boys, you didn't win it.
We drew. We drew.
No. Oh.
We beat them.
We remedied it with beating Bayern Munich a couple of days later. But
that's fair. Wolf, have you played Ipswich this season?
We beat them, mate. Nice try.
At home?
Well, we played them at home. I mean, we can't choose when the fixtures are.
Yeah. No. I was just asking if you'd played them.
Yeah, we beat them. Don't worry. 1-0.
1-0.
Man, you played them yet?
Yeah, we drew with him 1-0 at Portman.
That was Amorim's first game.
Yeah, it was.
16 seconds in there, we're all guessing Amorim football, man, and then bang.
Well,
they were good days, Cass. That's when you picked up points, man. That was good times.
Bro, this is what, isn't it?
We'll beat him tonight.
Yeah. No,
can we talk about the other game tonight?
You have to.
We don't have to, but yeah, we do need to. A win is needed, really. But
Charlie, come on, you're almost sort of guaranteed second place now. Like you got to win these matches if you want to be.
We need to win these matches, of course. What I mean is, though, in terms of, you know, the top 4, even if we didn't win, it doesn't really change that much. But yeah, you don't want 2 games to then become 3 without a win. You go to Crystal Palace away on the weekend, that game suddenly, you know, takes on a lot more importance, could be difficult. So yeah, look, you want to get back to winning ways as soon as possible, and this is a game that we absolutely should be winning, and I don't see us getting anything other than 3 points.
Yeah, fair play. Another game on tonight at Old Trafford. Cass, what are your thoughts, man? Because
as long as we don't concede a set piece, we'll beat you. That's it. There you go.
Confidence then. Okay.
No, but don't get me wrong. I think United can get goals. Like, I don't think I'll create opportunities against your back line. Of course, I don't think you've got the best centre-back options in the world, but because Botman's there, I'll be like, for fuck's sake. But again,
he could well be on the bench tonight for the first time.
Who gives a shit? Like, he's not going to play, is he? So that's just the only positive. But the only thing is like, if United concede a set piece, yeah, fuck that. I'm done. It's more like, I don't think United's played bad. It's just that as soon as a header goes in, that's it. Or a corner goes in these days because it's going to the back of the net. You lot go bully Onana, which I'm pretty sure Dan Burn will have a little field day with. Yeah, it could be kind of long on these corners. I don't know how good Newcastle is set piece, but all I know is Fabian Schär is a flipping threat, and so is Joe Linton, and that's one. And it's like these are the anti whatever we want to do. Yeah. The Ligt has to play. Maguire has to play. Lissandro, I hope he gets benched. Yeah, because we have to, and I think Casemiro will play because we got no choice. We barely got any midfielders. We got no Ugarte. There's no Bruno. Oh, please. No.
Ericsson not come in?
Yeah, you probably play with Casemiro in a pivot. I just don't want to see it.
Rashford going to come back?
Well, we got no choice. He has to go on the bench no matter what because we barely got any players. It's just, for me, it's got to get. I think the only way to really deal with Newcastle is to play with height and at the same time, have a bit of flipping confidence as well. That's it. And it's a bit hard to see if you like. I mean, not see, but it's hard to look at United and say, yeah, you know what, we're going to get 3 points because it's not against this Newcastle side. What we won 3-4 on a bounce. It's just
4 on the bounce. We've got three clean sheets out of those 4.
Is that 4 league in the bounce?
No, it's three league in the bounce.
Just
on top of that, yes, Chris. On top of that, it's the Brentford semi-final, the Carabao Cup we won.
And there was a whooped your ass as well recently as well away from home. So I don't know what Newcastle's like away from home, but I know they can concede goals. It's just who's going to score for United. Everyone would look at Ahmad or something, but I would. It's difficult. I'd like to get into a position where you can catch out Hall because I know he likes to tackle, and Libramento's side will be he's going to eat that side up no matter what. That side is crap. United's left hand side is non-existent, so you might as well just concede that.
Well, to be fair, Libramento's got history at Old Trafford because he last couple of times he's played there, he's played really well there. But it's really interesting you say that because about set pieces is because and Chris will back me upon this. In the last month or so, we have just turned into like a set piece FC in terms of what we're creating. I'm not even lying. The amount of creativity, and the amount of goals that we've scored from working, and it's not necessarily like ball straight into the box. You'll probably see it tonight. We have certain set plays where we'll play it short and we'll work it around. We'll pull players out of position to create opportunities. We've created a lot of chances off the back of it. And we've scored goals off the back of it as well. So the fact that you're saying that you've got a massive issue with set pieces, and I know
a big issue. I think what is it? Is it 8 goals or 7 set pieces goals against like 18? I don't know what that is, but we don't really concede chances.
It's about to be 9, bro, tonight.
Set piece, usually open play, we're fine. Like we don't really concede chances unless their heads just go flying and all that bullshit. And then, but bar that, it's like a set piece. Every time there's a corner or there's a position to whip it, I'm thinking, here we go. Like see the Wolves. I'm like, I remember sitting in the flipping in the lounge. I was meant to and I was like, they're gonna score from here, aren't they? I just got a feeling everything's going a little bit too well for my liking. And then before you know it, the way Cunha scored from it, I was like, I'm done with this keeper. I'm done with these keepers, mate. Honestly, got no bollock about them, and I can just see. I just see it. I'm not really afraid of Gordon because I trust Mazraoui to lock him up. To be fair, it's the other. It's not Gordon. It's because Gordon last time I think he was kind of like bar the cup game. I think he was kind of. I'm not too sure. Don't really care. It's Murphy I care about more. It's Murphy. That side is. I expect it to get ripped.
So who's going to play on that left-hand side then, in your opinion?
No,
I don't see. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to put Mazraoui over there instead, and then put. I hope he plays Anthony wingback because I don't like the thought of fullbacks being as wingbacks. I need a bit more attacking intent at least.
Yeah,
that's it. I want to attack your side. I know Dan Burn has history with Anthony, and I'm like, go on, Anthony, have another guy. And then he sat his ass down a couple of times. I remember being at that match. How about that?
Yo, is it that bad, Cass, that you're praying for Anthony, man?
I don't think
that you're praying for Anthony, man.
I'm not going to say praying, but Anthony's a better option as a wing back than what we've got. Too defensive minded is no good. It's at least with him, your job's simple. Just go and link with Ahmad, cross the ball, and just do the line. That's all you need to really do as a wing back. It's a simple job. It's just energy.
Wait, you want him on the left or right?
Oh, I don't really give a shit. Probably on the right. Probably on the right, to be fair. But it depends.
He's so left-footed though. He's so
Yeah,
left.
but I don't really mind that. You know, his cameos ain't exactly been bad for United. Every time he comes on, he looks better than fucking Delo. Delo's crap. I know if Delo comes, we're playing bar back because he's passive. But one thing I do like, we don't have Bruno, so I expect a bit more football today. Because he's garbage, that rat.
Why is it the Man United fans are saying that they prefer Bruno not to be in the team?
What's it all about? He's a grenade. He's not a good like. I'm not gonna say he's not a good footballer. I'm not gonna say he's a good footballer, but he's just he's never.
Is it all about him?
Yeah, he's never disciplined, right? You know, when he goes into one of those 10 positions, it's like you don't know how to evade a defender because he runs with a parachute on. You put him in an A, he likes to play gung-ho football, so that's less discipline. But we ain't really got someone that can do that like him because Eriksen's pretty much what Iron Man. He's got a tinker of a heart. Do you know what I mean? And then he's just not disciplined. Every time you want to do like an overload, because I've seen it when you play 2-10, you overload with the striker to obviously create some gaps in the half spaces and if you want to get too technical. But he's too busy playing with Delo at the left-hand side like he's a left mid. I don't understand. I hate Bruno Fernandes with a passion. He's such an annoying footballer. He's crap. He's a for me, I call him a net negative. His turnover rate is super. It's way too high for my liking. It's the way he gives away the ball as well, and the areas he gives away the ball. That's my thing. Like against Wolves, you've got an option to the left. You've got Delo there, and then you've got Hoyler making a run. What do you try to do? You try to switch it to the other side, and you lose the ball. What are you doing?
It's gonna be interesting. Like it's easy put here. Sorry to take the chat, Chris, really quickly. Let's see where our creativity comes from. So you reckon without Bruno, there's going to be zero.
No, more. I don't care about this whole big chance to create. What is a big chance? What is that? What's that label down to these days? I don't see Newcastle with creative midfielders really, but guess what? They create chances still, right? It's all about your system that you play that creates your chances for you. I don't think Joe Linton's creative. I don't think Bruno Gomes is that creative. To be fair, from deep,
I would say he is now in the number 8,
deep or whatever. And I wouldn't say Tonali is, but guess what? You still get chances no matter what. This is what I'm saying. It's not like we're too reliant, thinking like it's too reliant, like it's all got to be through Bruno Fernandes. No, it's not. I'd rather see Kobe in there and Ahmad, and I'd rather play as a team. It's just I'm just tired of everything going through one man. If he doesn't play, it's all gone to shit. When he is shit.
So I'm going to ask you then: Is this your must-win game tonight? And the reason why I'm asking you that, Kaz, is because your next 2 fixtures after this are Liverpool away and Arsenal away in the cup.
In the cup.
They're your next 2 league games.
Every games you've got to pick up some points, like somewhere. Don't get me wrong, but I don't look at the manager. I honestly don't. I'm not one of these guys that are reactionary. Oh, you've lost so many games, then you must go. That's not for me. Anyone can clearly see that it's not balanced, and these players are diabolical, man. The group of players are crap. It's that real. There's nothing more to it.
So it wasn't Ten Hag's fault, then, is what you're saying?
No, he's the one that assembled this squad, though. True. This is what he wanted. So, and he got what he got. He got enough backing, to be fair. And that's the result of it. These are all his players. And don't get me wrong, I don't think all of them are bad, but I think majority are just that crap. They just don't offer much. And if anything, it's just not balanced. For me, it's like I don't subscribe to fast food football. Like just because you ain't got a few results going your way, which is a shame because a few of them we should be winning. I look at the man and say, yeah, you got to go. That's just pathetic.
So, Cass, how many games before you turn on Amorim?
I won't.
So, if you're in a relegation fight in 2 months' time,
we both know we won't be in a relegation scrap. So that's one thing.
We don't both know that.
We do both know that.
I'm giving you the ifs here. If you're in a relegation fight, I mean, you got some tough games. You could lose tonight. You could then lose to Liverpool. You're getting dragged in. You know, Ipswich might beat Chelsea. That's you fighting for 40 points. You know what I'm saying?
Even if we finish 14th, 15th, 12th, 11th, 10th, I'm not turning on the manager, bro. I'm not one of these. Like I said, I
want to make a note of the date and time he said that, just so I can.
Yeah, I'm not against it because for me, I can clearly see something, and I can clearly see that these players.
What are you seeing? What are you seeing apart from
Els? A lot more.
What are you seeing apart from Els?
A lot more than I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years.
You saw 2 trophies, bro. You saw 2 trophies.
So what?
This ain't on
the bare minimum.
Wolfie, this ain't on the manager.
No.
If Man United were doing this.
I'm not saying it's on the manager. I'm saying when is he going to turn?
So this is
I'm
what I
saying
don't
when is he
understand.
going to turn?
United don't have a brand of football. Play counter attack and all that. Get a couple trophies, but you know it's not. It's deemed not sustainable, which it isn't in terms of like going forward against the top side. But yet it's not good enough. I can't see a style of play, or whatever. This is from Rivals, by the way. I can't see something. What's going on? It's clueless. He ain't got a notion what's going on. Wolfie said that earlier this season, by the way. His words. And now, when you can see a style, you can see that he's trying to implement something. You can see that United's chances that we're creating a lot more considering the players we got, but we're not getting the result. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, you must turn on the manager. So you said this.
I didn't say you must.
Would
I
you
said
rather
when.
see something?
When?
You said, would you rather see something but go through the hurt and pain, or would you rather? This is you, by the way, not that long ago. Bear in mind, or would you rather just do what Ten Hag did?
So
I said the first option. I'd rather see something because I'm tired of it. I'd rather go through the pain and obviously hurt of losing and stuff like that. Even if the position, like I said, whether you're 15th, 10th, 12th, 5th,
Second.
4th, it does not matter. If it's not really a trophy at the end to really upgrade that position, it don't really matter to me. And if it's an FA Cup and 8th, it's not good enough either. But if you're 5th and 4th, it's practically the same as winning no trophy but finishing 10th. Except you get a bit more money. Who cares? I don't care. It's the same thing. Did you win at the end to showcase what you've done for your season? Yes or no? So if you got there, what is it? What have you got? Content creator bragging rights.
I'm just saying, mate, it's like you're giving him too free a ride, right? I agree. Ten Hag was a fraud, yeah? But why is no one talking about the fact that, because they'll all say, all the Man U fans, they've been given the same script. Doesn't matter what channel you go on, yeah? It's the players. They don't fit into his system. Give him time, okay? If a manager knows these players do not fit in his system and he can't change the fucking players, why is he not changing the system until he gets his new players? And why did he join mid-season if he knows this was going to be the case and he could have just joined at the end of the season?
Well, I don't know.
These are the conversations I'm not hearing from these so-called Man U fans.
So if you've got a conversation, you come.
Do you know what, though, Wolfie?
Go on.
I was just going to say, mate, the reason he joined mid-season is because, and he was quite vocal about that, was that he was told this now or never. He wanted to join at the end of the season, but he was told,
what were they going to
nah,
do?
mate, he was, but they needed someone now, didn't they? Because they want rid of him.
They could have gone for an intro. They could have brought Ollie back at the wheel, 6 months ago.
Do you think they moved too quick and they should have stuck with Van Nistelrooy? Because didn't he have a good?
No, but who cares?
He was undefeated for him, weren't he, bro? He didn't complain about the system not fitting the players.
But the thing is though, is like you could implement something now, so and the club's used to what you want as an idea as a coach, or you go through the whole process through, what's it called, pre-season. Then every player's got to figure out what to do again, and yada yada yada.
Because these players aren't going to be there according to you. They're so bad that you need to freaking nuke them and start again, man. So what's the point in wasting your time on players that aren't going to be there on a system they're not going to be playing?
I don't really see it as always. I still think even if Van Nistelrooy was there, yes, we beat Leicester, whoop-de-doo. But I'm just trying to say along the lines of we would still have the same problems, scoring goals. Probably conceding set pieces more than likely. It will be the exact same thing in my mind. For me, it's just,
all right, bro. Set pieces were not an issue under Ten Hag. This is a new Amorim thing.
Trust me, they were.
Not like Amorim, bro.
Not like Amorim, but you still got a set play. You got more set.
But again, you lot giving him a free pass. It's like,
exactly.
We don't concede to set piece tonight.
God forbid that anyone judges someone, like as a manager, shall I say, when he hasn't even got his players in. He ain't even got a single player of his own in, but yet let's judge it.
Did Slot have his players?
No, but he still had a whole pre-season at least, at least.
Yeah, so you were predicting that Slot was going to do this?
No one predict. Not many.
Okay, forget Slot. Wolves. You played Wolves the other week with a manager who was fresher in than your boy. Yeah, did he have his players?
So basically, this is what I mean. See, you're a coach, and this is why I expect more from a coach, because clearly you should know in the new day and age of football, it's called a system. So when Brighton sacked their manager, and they decide to bring in a new one, have you not noticed how quickly the transition is because they've already got what they want in place in terms of philosophy?
How Brighton doing again? No winning 5, isn't it?
So what? They're still doing more well than what they've obviously provided. Like, they shouldn't be where they are, but they are where they are. And again, when you do get a new manager in for whatever club that's got something going on, it's an easy slowing. Wolves, quite a few last managers, they all play back threes and pretty much and whatever. Easy way to slot in. They shouldn't have won that game, to be fair. I think the only reason they won that is because we went down to 10th, because we were pretty much better than them. I wouldn't say by much, but we're still better than them. There you go.
Charlie.
Do you understand that one, Wolfie, as a coach? You know, since you do coach, you know, you understand it? If you got removed and someone else came in,
all I understand is you're chatting shit about it, man. You're just making excuses. You are.
I'll come to Charlie then. Charlie, this game tonight at Old Trafford, how do you see it going, mate? Honestly, from your perspective, obviously, we were talking off air and just at the beginning of the show. We neither of us have won there since like 2012, 2013, something like that. So we've not got the best of records at Old Trafford. But how do you see it going tonight, mate?
Mate, I'd expect Newcastle to win, but I don't know. Like, Man United are just capable of just pulling results out of nowhere. Like, really, they shouldn't be winning this game at all. They shouldn't be getting the points. But I don't know. Newcastle, obviously, the record's not great. Away form, it's not been great under Eddie Howe. He had a decent win away at Ipswich. You know, it has got a little bit better, but the away form's still not good. But like, surely you've got to win this tonight. I mean, given the form you're in, given the form they're in, the players you've got, I just don't see how Newcastle don't win this game. So I think it would be a massive disappointment from a Newcastle perspective if you didn't get the 3 points.
Yeah. Rich, how do you see it going, mate?
I think I agree with Charlie. Newcastle should win, but you just never know with this Man United team. Like, they can pull a result out from anywhere, and it's always very, very difficult as well to, particularly this season in the Premier League, barring if you're Wolfie's team or Liverpool, to win four Premier League games in a row at some point. Yeah, I said unless you Wolfie.
Well said.
It's very difficult because it's so inconsistent at the moment to expect players to come and perform at that level every single week, and then also to expect Manchester United to not maybe want to turn it around, or one of their players not to pull something out of the bag or something like that. So I think Newcastle will win, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Man United pulled off a shock result.
Yeah. I would say, boys, you were talking about you haven't won there for ages. Am I right in what you just said?
Yeah, 2013.
Don't worry about that. We haven't won there since the 90s. We haven't won there since the 90s. They'll just bend over for you. Don't worry.
Chris, are you confident after what you've heard Cass say in Wolfie's argument?
I am confident tonight. I do think that we'll go there and put on a good show. I've noticed in the chat, I've just seen then that people are saying that Rashford's back in the squad. I think that'll be interesting if he starts.
That must be scaring you boys, man.
He won't play.
No. I think Kaz, I mean, I don't know if we've touched on this, so apologies if we have, but what's that central midfield going to look like tonight? Is it Casemiro? Is it Eriksen? Who's coming in for Bruno? No.
See, I've got a feeling you will go for Casemiro and Mainu, then Ahmad, and then he's just going to play Garnacho, and I was like, why? I would ask myself why. I feel like he should probably would go with Casemiro and Eriksen. Only reason being is because at least he can switch the play a little bit more than others. But he's got 45 minutes for me. After that, it's stop playing football, get off. I would like for him to go for Mainu and Ahmad in the space behind whoever he wants to choose up front, because Ahmad and Mainu, one thing they do well is the half space, again, in between the centre back. If people don't understand that, more like a little bit like the central part of the wing in that like between the space between the left back and the centre back, and can hold the ball. If you can hold the ball and sustain, that means obviously the Newcastle line of the midfield has to drop. If you let them get up the pitch, Newcastle's going to wipe the floor of us and press. I think Bournemouth showed everyone. You press Man United, like, don't get me wrong, United might have little spells, but we'll suffer. And something that Newcastle do well is press. The Bournemouth are the best pressing team in the league, actually, by statistics and stuff. But Newcastle ain't going to be far off that. So,
especially not in the last 3 or 4 games. We do feel like we're kind of back to what we were seeing. Sort of in the 3 games before the last international break, when we beat sort of Arsenal, Chelsea, Forest. In that period, we looked like we were We had a point where we dropped off, but in the last 3 or 4 games, we do look like we're back to that, and that high pressing, and that work rate is there. And this is the thing, Man United, even statistically, are one of the worst teams in the league for work rate in terms of running and competing, in terms of pressing and working hard off the ball. And we do that in abundance. And I just think as the game goes on, it could potentially.
I mean, recently we got one of the better stats. It's just under 10 Hag. It was crap.
Okay.
It was poor. But again, I don't expect to keep up with Newcastle at all.
What do you think the score's going to be then, Cass? What do you think?
Well, I'm never
Yes,
going to
Cass, what do you think it's going to be, Cass?
I'm saying to you,
Dan United. Sorry, Chris. Dan United's in the chat. And he's obviously having wears a Wolfie, but he reckons Man U are going to win 3-1 tonight.
I'm going with 2-1 United. That's it. I can't predict a loss. I'm sorry. It's just 3 losses in a row at Old Trafford. I wouldn't put it past us, to be fair, but I can't. Come on, you can't predict a loss at your own team, man. It's just not.
You can if you're a Man U supporter, bro.
Wolfie, you'll be back in your place at one point. Don't you worry.
You're still finishing ahead of us. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Rich, aka who I was talking to with Josh, the Villa fan. I said, your time, it's Newcastle fans, specs, and that. I'm like, you can have your hurrahs and all that, but you get back down to your level at one point. It doesn't matter to me. You have
so Villa's level is still above Man U.
It's all right. You haven't had your fame since like literally 1989, 90, with your League Cup and whatnot. So on that notice, I don't really care about what Forest are doing. Don't get wrong, you're like a bed bug. Like you're a bed bug, man. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, I'd rather have bed bugs than rats in my stadium, man.
All right, that's nice, but your stadium's literally so old, it's falling apart as well. So don't try it.
We're going to talk about your leakiness, man. Even in your freaking press conference says the water's coming in, man. You talk to me about stadiums.
The fan base is literally 90%, in my eyes, people that are over 50 or 60. Go get some supporters because it's dying out there.
Again, this is such a freaking United view of the footballing world, man. Nothing outside of London exists in the United fan base's opinion.
You've got your song at the start, and then we might hear like a little hurrah with the song at the start. But other than that, it's like it's weak. You're not Geordie.
You can't hear anything over the rainfall, man. It sounds like a waterfall. I'm surprised your theme song isn't TLC. Don't go chasing waterfalls, man. The amount of rain this time Old Trafford, man.
Normally the Forest atmosphere is decent, but when me and Chris were there for the Carabao Cup game, we were surprised at how quiet.
By the way,
it's a league match, mate. We focus on the league. We're focusing on the league.
I live with Daps, right? And he went to Forest away. I think Forest might have won 1-0 last season. I think it might have been the case. He said the atmosphere was dross. And even watching that game, it's like I didn't hear nothing.
Oh, he's chatting crap for his. I mean, Daps can't see, so we don't expect his hearing to be any better.
City have a really good away fan base. I'll say Villa do as well. So do Newcastle. They
don't have a fan base.
Actually, you know what? I'll say most of our, not Chelsea, but most of all of us else have a good traveling fan base, right? But when it comes to you lot.
But this shows me you're chatting absolute crap because there's not a team that comes to Forest that doesn't talk about the atmosphere. Charlie,
you're rattled.
Charlie,
yeah,
you're gone. Forest atmosphere.
It's the 2 times that I've been, it has been quite good. But but I'm not there for all the other games. I go once a season, so I'm not best placed to comment the rest of the time. But the 2 times that I've been, it's not been bad.
Go on, look, here's someone who's actually been there live and direct.
Oh, here he comes. I'm so rattled that he got out of bed. So rattled that he got out of bed. He was so rattled.
He double troubled it. Whilst that's
hold on. No, I'm all good. Listen, right.
Here we go. I'm listening.
Listen, you fucker. Because all you want to do is talk about our fan base, right? Now, firstly, I'm not talking shit, and you're right, I can't see very well, but I can hear. Last season, when we beat you 1-0, honestly, it is the worst away ground I have been to. Now, I'm not saying every season, but last season. Secondly...
What was it like when we drew 1-0? What was it like when we drew 1-0 the season before?
Like I just said, bro, I wasn't there.
So all right, so you're going on your sample size, bro. You're going on your sample size.
1,000,000%, I just said that. But secondly, right... When we talk about, you always talk about City's fan base. Me and you have had this conversation, bro. I understand, yeah, our fan base is not the size of Manchester United's. It's not the size of Liverpool's, right? But let's
It's not the size of Plymouth's.
Oh, no problem. But third tier of English football, we were pulling in crowds the size you are getting in the fucking Premier League, bro. So
that was when you were a real team, bro. It makes sense. It makes sense.
100%. So if back then we were getting crowds that were the same size as you are getting right now when you're second in the Premier League, right? And now we are a bigger team. You can't talk on our fan base.
I can, because you are not taking context into it. We are selling out to capacity, man.
Right,
Yours is literally called the empty hat.
Wolfie, no problem. But you can, again, you're using Twitter terms, right? You're calling it the empty hat. But if you've been there, you know factually.
Oh, I've been there, man. I literally been there when we lost 6-0 to you. It was like I was at a business meeting, man. It was silent.
I was there as well. You called it the empty ad. Was it empty?
It was silent.
Was it empty?
It was silent, bro.
Was it empty? You called it the empty ad. Was it
empty?
Was.
When
now,
we played...
Wolfie, let's talk about the size, because I don't care about your camera. You talk about the size of your ground. Now, brother, if I have no children, I'll be happy in a 2-bed apartment. If I have 3 children, I am getting a 4 or 5-bed house, yeah? You lot are in your stadium. You lot have not expanded your stadium. Why? Because you don't fucking need to, bro. Because
this is what I love, Gav. This is your lack of knowledge. This is how you make yourself look stupid, right? Because we have literally signed off plans on the stadium. So go on. Try your next one.
Congratulations.
Thank you. No. Those plans have been there since 2019, man. COVID hit.
If they've been there since 2019, why the fuck have you not used the fucking plans, bro? You don't have kids.
COVID.
So what? We're acting like we're acting like multiple teams have not done it. And don't say
we're not building a new stadium, bro. We're expanding our current stadium.
We're expanding right now. We're expanding right now. Multiple clubs have expanded. You don't get planning permission on a new build, because you have more kids and then not use it, right? You haven't used it for 5 years. COVID was 3 years ago, bro? Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
What are we doing here?
5 years ago.
Exactly.
Right. Oh, but you haven't needed to. That's the truth.
We've needed to for 3 years, bro.
Okay. Right.
Anyway,
how are you, by the way?
Do you know what? I was in the middle of cleaning my mirrors in my bedroom, listening to this show, and thought, this guy, he can chat shit about being second and whatever, but all this crap about fans when I've witnessed your fans, and Cassie's right. Your fans are
let me know when you witness your own fans, then we'll start talking. Start talking.
Like I said, I do, bro. I did at your ground.
Literally.
Okay.
Actually, and anyone that watched City yesterday, you witnessed City's fans, because City's fans yesterday.
The tourists turn up when you win. Yeah, I agree with that.
Bro, I agree. Oh, I agree with that. The tourists do turn up when we win.
Well, we do get tourists at City Ground.
Does he?
We do get a few.
They thought they were going for a look round Sherwood Forest. And
they come for Hooters, man. They come for Hooters and stay for the Forest, man.
Hooters is a banging away trip. I'm not going to lie.
It is good Hooters, yeah.
It is. It's mint. Anyway.
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, what?
I was waiting for an announcement. I thought an announcement was coming.
What had gone on? Okay. Let's switch it over. To Forest then. Seeing as we're
love everyone. I'll leave it back to Cass.
Bye, Dad.
Cheers.
You boys. Can you withstand this pressure of potentially getting European football?
Yes. I mean, what pressure? What pressure is on Forest right now? There is none. There is none. No, there is none. We're in a title race. You lot clipping me up, saying it. I said it 3 months ago. We're in the title race. Guess what? 3 months down the road, we're still in the title race. We're Liverpool, as things stand, closest challengers in second. And if you lot don't think Forest are in a title race, then go give Liverpool the title today. Okay. Now, being in a title race does not mean you will win the title, nor does it mean you expect to win the title. But factually and mathematically, we are in a title race. Can Forest finish in Europe? I've said it since before the season. I expect Forest. My expectations were that Forest will get Europe this year. The question is going to be, is it Champions League, is it Europa, or is it Conference? Any one of the above means a successful season for Forest. Most people had Forest relegated this season. What a bunch of idiots they were. Look at us now. People are now talking about us, about seriously contending for Champions League. So yeah, Forest have no pressure. Forest to come into this with so many things to our advantage. We don't have the pressure of expectation. We do not have European football to contend with. Thanks to a penalty shootout that doesn't count, we're not in the Carabao Cup. The only other competition that can kind of distract us is the FA Cup, and we got plucky old Luton who are absolute shite. So, things are going very, very well. As long as Forest finish in European football, even if they didn't, it would still have been a great season, but this will make it an exceptional season. And right now we have a 6-point gap to Man City in 5th place. I still expect Man City to finish ahead of us. I still expect Liverpool to win the league. And yeah, everything is absolutely perfect. We've gone to Liverpool, beaten them. We've gone to stinky Old Trafford, beaten them. We've gone to Brentford, who apparently had the best home record in the league, beaten them. Everton just drawn with Man City, with Arsenal, with Chelsea. We dealt with them at the weekend. Everything right now is ticking beautifully, and we're doing all of this with our best midfield pairing in Danilo and Sangare, who have been out since the start of the season. Yet you'll have Spurs fans crying about Van de Ven being out, about Romero being out, about Vicario being out. You don't hear Forest fans crying about the players we are missing. And we still just get on with our business. We're second. Everyone told me, even on here, this chat months ago, oh, you'll drop off. We're going upwards, man. We're going upwards. Every time someone says we drop off, we move another place up. When we were 5th, you drop off, we went 4th. When we were 4th, drop off 3rd, 2nd. So right now, everything's hunky-dory. And for me, screw the Cartel 6. Big up Villa, big up Newcastle, big up Forest. I would love that to be the top 3 in the Premier League and shut the likes of Cass up with his entitlement, with his BS backing of his manager, when I know deep down inside he is burning with what's happening at Man U, and it's killing him. It's killing him that he's about 15 points behind Forest. But he trusts the process.
You can have your play date. You can go in Champions League all you want, but we all know after that you're dropping off anyways. It's like Newcastle when they came up.
Say otherwise.
It's like Newcastle when they came to Champions League. Otherwise. When Newcastle came to Champions League too soon. It was too soon, probably. Yeah, but that's your fault.
When we got promoted, it was too soon. It was too soon.
Even Aston Villa, they might be top of the champion or near there. Like, don't get me wrong, but clearly in the league, there's a drop off. Like, their performances ain't the greatest at the moment. They're just about hoping to scrape a result, like through a John Duran banger. Look, it's okay, innit? Like, I understand. They've been here a long time. Actually, to be fair, you claim that you're quite young, Wolfie, which I don't believe. So you ain't actually seen it. So, and that note, it's your first time. I understand. It's been many, many years.
My first time does not mean it's Forest's first time.
Yeah, but it's your first time. So you're considered
no, I've seen European football. I've seen European football, bro.
So have I. And also,
I've seen European football.
You're considered one of the young.
The 2 stars. I've seen European football.
It's okay.
Chris, I'm just going to take the chat 1 second. I'm going to throw this out there to Cassian's. He's got a strong opinion on Forest right now.
No, I have a strong opinion on Wolfie.
When does Forest run out?
I don't think it does, man. Hey, look, their defense.
You
know what? Defensively, they got one of the best defenses in the league, and that's all that matters, man. Their defense is wicked.
Absolutely.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that, Wolfie. I can't be shameless about that.
Thank you.
Milenkovic is a hell of a pickup, man.
Yeah, he's crazy. They do remind me of Villa this time last season. I think Villa at this time last season had 38 points from the 18 or 19 games, and were in that title race off the back of beating Man City and Arsenal. And the second half of that season last year, though, was, as much as Villa fans didn't want to admit it, we literally limped, crawled, whatever you want to say, over the line to get in the Champions League. So there will inevitably become a time where Forest do have a run of like 3-4 defeats, or, a draw and then a defeat and then whatever. So there will come that time. It's just about how it's great that you've got the points up in the bag at the minute because you've given yourself a real good buffer. It's just, can you hold the other teams off when they come through? Because I do think, I'm hoping that Villa have kind of learned, or Emery's learned a bit off the back of last season, because we were terrible at the back end of last season, and I'm hoping that we finish stronger this season than we did last season. And Newcastle, I'm sure, would have learned that their situation from last season as well, with the number of injuries. So there will be teams that come back in the second half of the season at Forest, but hopefully for your sake, you've got the buffer of these points to hold them off.
Rich, I hear what you're saying about what Villa did, but correct me if I'm wrong, you still had Conference League that season, didn't you? So you still had distractions, whereas we don't. We don't have those distractions. We don't have to stretch the squad out.
It reminds me more of Newcastle this season.
Yes, yeah.
And there's a meme. There's a meme that's been going around yesterday. I did put it on one or two chats, and it's like basically the similarities between Newcastle and Forest from our 2022-23 season.
Yeah.
A team built on a rock-solid defence. We had the best defensive record in the Premier League that season. New elite centre-back, Milenkovic, and we had Botman, who we just signed. Elliot Anderson and Chris Wood, of course, for obvious reasons, and upsetting the traditional Big Six. And ultimately, that resulted in Champions League qualification. And those pillars there, particularly the centre-back pairing, the defensive record, all of that, it does bring up very much similarities to what Newcastle are doing. And you know what? I'm not going to be one of those guys that says, "Oh yeah, you're not going to get Champions League football." I have no idea. I think you've got just as much chance of getting Champions League football as you have not. It all depends on you whether you can continue that run or not. And like you said, you've got no distractions to help you get to that point. But look, I don't think anyone can throw any type of shade at Forest, because they are doing it and they're doing it well. I watched you boys yesterday against Everton. And we just had Charlie on, and they went to Everton and couldn't get anything. And they've got two squads, they've got 2 11s worth of quality, and they couldn't break Everton down. You did it, and watching you guys, you did it with ease at times. The way you were cutting through, though, I mean, that Chris Wood finish. Oh. Not many players. Look, as Newcastle fans, we don't like Jordan Pickford, but I think most will be honest and respect that he's a good goalkeeper. But I don't see many players or teams do that to that level of goalkeeper. And
I hate Pickford. I call him Prickford, man. Honestly, I'm with you. What a twat he is. And I've never seen a double header build-up assist ever that I can remember in football, what Elanga and Wood did. And then Morgan Gibbs-White, man, that cutback that sent Decore over into the Anfield Stadium was just sensational, man. Look, Cass is right. It's based on our defense, but that defense gives those players that got attacking sense in them to know that if we can get a goal, if we put together a couple of decent chances and we tend to score, that's the formula you want to build on. Not this 3-4-3 Amorim ball, give him trust the process stuff. So,
let's see how well you do next year when you got more games and you think Chris Wood's going to
concede this year. Yeah, I love it. That's what I want to hear.
No, I think you'll get it. I don't see in the world. It's a disgusting bottle job from you if you don't get European football from now, in my opinion. So we'll see what limits you lot get to.
Not quite Big Al, but he is pulling up some good numbers and pulling up.
He went dry for a couple of games, and then he pulls out that finish. Oof, love it.
No, it was a quality finish. Another question here from David R. Who is the best side you've come up against this season?
We know that.
Arsenal and Newcastle. Arsenal and Newcastle. They were the 2 hardest matches. Both ended up basically in the same scoreline. So yeah, they're the 2. I'd say the easiest we've come up with is West Ham. West Ham were shocking.
Would you not say your hardest side would be like where you got battered by Man City or Arsenal?
I said Arsenal, not Man City. Man City, we showed them too much respect.
They wiped the floor with you.
Yeah, but we just didn't play.
Whitewash.
I'm talking Arsenal.
So you didn't play because
Newcastle.
they didn't allow you to play.
The question's for me, mate. Right? We're not over enough, bro. Right?
Just because you're on a Newcastle channel doesn't mean you answer with Newcastle. Don't be a pussy.
I said Arsenal and Newcastle.
To be fair, Kaz, earlier on in the season when we beat them, at their place, he did say that you're the best team that we played.
Yeah, but when you get whitewashed 3-0 twice by 2 other clubs, I'm pretty sure
it wasn't 3-0, mate. So get your facts right.
What Man City and 3-1 Man City and Arsenal.
We beat them 3-1. We beat them 3-1.
It was 3-1 Forest Newcastle.
So they didn't even get.
We could. To be fair, we could have scored a lot more.
Yeah, and we took the lead in that. That second half from Newcastle was scintillating.
So you took the lead. So it wasn't your hardest game.
Man City, I mean, no one was there to watch it, so who really knows how the performance was? Don't
get him back on
the desk. Don't do that. But look, we'll start, boys. We'll start to wrap up. I know we've got Cass. We've got your predictions for the game tonight.
I said 2-1. No.
Yeah, you did. You said 2-1. Massive.
Yeah.
Chris, I don't know if you were there at the time, but Man United's next 2 games after that, Liverpool away, Arsenal away in the FA Cup, massive games for them. Villa, Rich, what score are you going for tonight? Brighton. Did you say it was away?
At Villa Park.
Oh, at home. Sorry.
I'm going to say 3-1 Villa. I mean, Villa never keep a clean sheet, so that won't happen. But I think we'll have enough to win.
Okay, Wolfie, I'm going to come to you on both predictions of those scorelines. You got Villa against Brighton and Man United against Newcastle. What are you going for?
I think you bend Man United over tonight. I'm thinking 3-4-1, something like that. It's going to be very, very easy. And I think Villa will win because Brighton, as I said to Adam many months ago, they should be around 15th and now going towards where they should be. And yeah, Villa will win comfortably. I think there is 2-0, 3-1, something like that.
Okay, Chris,
I'll take that. What about you boys? Yeah, what about you boys?
I'm going to end it on our predictions. What you're going for tonight for the Villa game against Brighton and Man United?
Newcastle. Okay, I'll start with Villa. I think Aston Villa will beat Brighton 2-1. And I think, sorry, Kaz, I think Newcastle will beat Man United 3-0.
It's expected, don't worry.
3-0. I'm going to go. You know what? Like, because everyone's saying Newcastle are going to win. I just feel like something's going to happen. But I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I can't see anything other than a Newcastle win. I'm going to go Newcastle to win 3-1.
Could you guys do the 5-0 again? Do you remember who was it that scored that chip over Schmeichel back in the day? Oh, what a goal! What a goal that was!
Yeah, we'll see.
What a trophy, man! What a trophy!
Big thanks to the chat. Great to see so many in there. Big up to Cass and Never a Foul for sending these people over. Make sure you click that like on the way out. I think we've got like about 100 likes. We've had 350 plus in the chat during the show. So make sure you click that like on the way out. Big thanks to Wolfie from Forest Fans TV. Big thanks to Rich from the Villa Park Pod. Make sure you're subscribing to all of these channels. If you're seeing them for the first time or haven't subscribed to them yet, make sure you do, along with Never a File as well. And of course, Loaded Mag, NUFC. People, we are out of here. We've got football to watch later on tonight. Big up to everyone, and we'll be back very soon. Peace. He seems like he's good for you, and he makes you